This week, 2 cases of stolen dogs, plus a knife-wielding thief at Home Depot, and
because they don't care, and also because there's no one following up on them. The buck stops with them. There is no oversight.
a Harlem resident fights illegal police parking. Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We begin in the St. Albans section of Queens, where a 16-year-old girl was shot in the head.
A teenage girl is fighting for her life after she was shot in the head. This happened out in Queens. Citizen App video shows the scene here. Police say the 16-year-old girl was shot around 8:30 last night in the St. Albans section. She was taken to Jamaica Hospital. No word right now on her condition, and no arrests have been made. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-577-TIPS.
We now go to the Kings Plaza Mall in Brooklyn, where the NYPD is searching for a trio of suspects. They say assaulted and robbed a 13-year-old boy. According to authorities, the victim was talking with the male suspects inside a stairwell at the mall at around 4:30 p.m. on May 7th. Police say the suspects then began kicking and punching the victim in the face and body before taking his cell phone and running away, hopping on a northbound B41 MTA bus. The victim sustained minor injuries and was seen by EMS but refused medical attention. The phone was valued at approximately $300. Anyone with information in regard to this incident is asked to call the NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-577-TIPS. Up in East Harlem, the NYPD has made an arrest in connection to the rape and robbery of a 21-year-old woman.
Police made an arrest in an East Harlem rape case. 26-year-old Giovanni Romero Gonzalez is facing several charges, including rape, robbery, and stalking. The attack happened just after 1:30 Monday morning in the area of East 111th Street and 2nd Avenue. Investigators say Gonzalez tried to talk with the 21-year-old victim, causing her to run away. They say he then grabbed the woman, raped her, took the victim's bag and her cell phone, and left the scene. That woman was taken to a local hospital for medical attention.
Over in the concourse section of the Bronx, the NYPD is looking for the knife-wielding thief they said stole merchandise from a Home Depot.
Police need your help in finding a man they say stole merchandise from a Bronx Home Depot. It happened just before 2 o'clock on April 28th at the store located on Exterior Street in the concourse section. When the loss prevention officer approached the suspect, they say he fought to keep the items and then he took out a knife before running away. Investigators say he got away with merchandise worth about $115. Do you have any information who he is? Please call Crime Stoppers 1-800-577-TIPS.
Down in Midtown Manhattan, the NYPD is asking for the public's help in finding the 3 individuals wanted in connection to a jewelry theft.
Police say a gang of thieves in Midtown made off with a suitcase full of diamonds. It happened around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on April 28th. One suspect approached a man changing his car tire on 47th Street and started a conversation. Police say the victim was distracted. Another acted as lookout, while the third grabbed a suitcase from the back seat filled with about $100,000 worth of diamonds and jewels. They then left the scene in a taxi. There were no injuries. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-TIPS.
Back in the Bronx, we go to Hunts Point, where a puppy was stolen during a pet sale that went wrong.
Police are also looking for 3 men accused of stealing a puppy in the Bronx. It happened around 9:30 Tuesday night in the area of Seneca Avenue in the Hunts Point section. Police say the 23-year-old victim met the men to possibly sell them the dog, but he says the suspects had a gun and forcibly took that puppy. They then left in a gray 4-door sedan. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-577-TIPS.
We now go to Harlem, where a man is taken on a mission to fight illegal police parking.
Blocked bike lanes, blocked lanes entirely with bottlenecks of traffic.
Harlem resident Christopher Volpe is a citizen activist of sorts. These are all his photos, which he's been taking since moving to Harlem last year. He says it is a catalog of illegal parking, from cars being half on the sidewalk to fully on the sidewalk, from blocking bike lanes to blocking lanes of traffic. And he says the most frustrating part of the lawlessness along West 123rd Street is that it appears it is the law that's breaking the law. The vehicles surround the NYPD's 28th Precinct station house.
A majority of this workforce doesn't live in New York City. They are not constituents. They are not paying for our street cleaning with their taxes. We are, and this neighborhood doesn't benefit from that.
So Volpe did what the city asked civilians to do when confronted with illegal parking, to call 311, which Volpe did 232 times. In every case, he says, the complaint was marked resolved, only, he says, it was not. Why do you suppose that is?
Just because they don't care, and also because there's no one following up on them. The buck stops with them. There is no oversight.
Oversight over the NYPD parking issue right now is by the NYPD. 2 weeks ago, its chief of patrol said illegal parking at precincts are his pet peeve, describing a new internal crackdown.
We've issued command disciplines where we take the time from the officers for this. We've given them a negative, what we call craft, which affects their yearly evaluation.
As we visited the 28th precinct this day, we found cars parked illegally on the curb or blocking fire hydrants, police placards on their dash. Cyclists had to swing out into car lanes with bike lanes blocked on both sides of the street. And in some cases, cars didn't have license plates. The NYPD has noted it's grappling with the lack of parking for all personnel who work there. The police department says they're ordering thousands of inspections outside of precincts, and they are making announcements at the beginning of each shift for officers to park legally. But critics say that clearly is not working, and they point to a pair of bills being considered by the city council. One would revoke tens of thousands of parking permits to city agencies. The other would allow civilians to report illegal parking directly to the DOT. City council member Lincoln Ressler introduced the bills.
Never in my entire life have I not seen cars illegally parked on the sidewalk. And I tell you, I have 9 precincts in my district. It is ubiquitous at every single one.
Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News.
And finally, we leave the city for Woodbridge, New Jersey, where another dog napping took place.
Anger, sadness, disappointment. Those are like the 3 main emotions I'm feeling right now.
For Xavier Burgos, his nightmare began Monday afternoon when he and girlfriend Alyssa took 5-month-old Enzo to what was supposed to be a doggy play date at this park in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
I never expected this guy to ever steal my dog. That's why I was comfortable going to the play date in the first place.
Burgos says another man he didn't know was there and suggested all of them go to this nearby apartment complex where the man claimed his mother lived and had more French bulldogs inside. While waiting, Xavier let Enzo play in the parking lot and says things then took a sinister turn.
Walks up to one of the apartment doors and like pretends to fidget with it like he's trying to get in, but then comes back and is like, oh, I don't have my keys. My mom will be home in 5 minutes. By the time I get back out my car, these guys already grabbed my dog, jumped in the car and sped off.
On Tuesday, he says the dog napper sent him video of Enzo and an $8,000 ransom demand. Burgos says he contacted the authorities and says he gave them the license plate of the car that left with Enzo. He says police have been following up on leads but have yet to find the thieves nor poor Enzo. The dog does have a chip, but Xavier says he hasn't heard from the suspects in days. He just wants his pup back, safe and unharmed.
I'm not following nobody to no apartment to meet more dogs. I'm not letting my dog off the leash. I don't even feel comfortable bringing my dog to the dog park anymore.
From Woodbridge, New Jersey, Antoine Lewis, Fox 5 News.